This is IA Forward, your playbook for success as an independent insurance agent. Here to help you knock it out of the ballpark are your hosts, Shane Tatum and Tonya Lead.
Welcome to IA Forward. We are so excited to be talking about one of our most requested topics, and that is AI in the independent insurance channel. And we have two amazing experts on this topic, Chad Jackson and Justin White of Strawberry Antler.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Strawberry Antler. What in the heck is that?
I had the domain for a while. We didn't want to fall in the middle, so we wanted to be on the edges. Either way, if you love it or hate it, we wanted it to be memorable. I had a company named Orange Cattle. I had a company named Celery with an S. Just wanted it to be more memorable and not fall in the middle.
Yeah, I like it. I say it and then I'm like, it's really cool. Who's going to have that domain taken? Isn't that like the first thing you do when you start a company now? You got to check the domain. Can we even call it this thing? So okay, I'll let you guys maybe give a little bit of background. Why the insurance industry? I know you guys are is it fair to say the odd couple?
Yeah, and we have two other people too. We have Althea and Charlie, but they're not here.
Why insurance? I guess we'll start with that. We were in the insurance industry. I worked for Farm Bureau, captive agency type of thing. And Justin came over for a little bit. That's a totally interesting story. He came for about 6 months. We've been friends for 7 or 8 years before that. My whole thought process with Justin coming to Farm Bureau was he's coming from the developer side of stuff. We're so far behind on how we handle stuff here. I'm trying not to knock Farm Bureau. They're a great company. It's just like most insurance places, they're just 20 years behind technology. And so that was like, can you come here and help us? And we started kicking around the idea of starting our own independent agency. And so that's really how everything happened as far as the insurance side of things. I felt like we could get into the insurance space and make a small dent and do stuff the way we wanted with a little bit more technology leaning. The AI stuff started from the get-go. We didn't really want to use any of the stuff that was out there. We didn't really like anything and didn't feel like it was really meeting what we wanted. So Justin just built us our own CRM that we were using from day one. And then that just kept changing, evolving. And then really started like, what if we change this to more like an AI CRM and really started doing that? I guess the biggest thing, we started messing with quoting. Coming into it, we all knew just from being in insurance, most of our time was we're just quoting. And I wanted to say, can we figure out a way where we're not just spending all of our time just sitting at a computer quoting, get more to where we're talking to the clients about the sale. And so that's where we start kicking around the idea of I think I can do something. If you can do that, that's crazy. And anyway, that's how we got started. More so just on the rater side, trying to figure out how we can get the quotes out to the clients. And then once it broke through that, it was just kind of broke through the window, so to speak. And then it's like other things started opening up. It was like, we can do that, we can do that, we can do that, we can do that. And then, we started using it in-house for probably 5 or 6 months and was working great. Clients were loving it. And then it's like, maybe this could be beneficial for other agencies.
We didn't set out to be an actual product. We already built another company in it. So we treat our agency like we have our own agency because we're like, hey, people are going to ask, hey, does this work? We use it every day. I wanted to make sure it worked and make sure we could test things, experiment with things, see if they work. We run our own agency as a lab in and of itself to test stuff so we can build stuff to just solve our own problems. Because if we have the problems, we think they're going to solve for other people.
One of the things that resonated is we have our retail operation here in East Texas. And from the agency network view of things, we consider our retail operation like a live lab as well. Being in the business of insurance and being in the insurance agency business does give you a different perspective from a product or service development standpoint. You are immersed in it, which I think resonated with me about you guys. You're using the product every day. You're using the things you build every day. That's a big deal. That's not normal. Maybe 40 years ago, a lot of the original systems were built by agents that were frustrated about something. With technology, with AI, the pace of it, it's just not normal. You get a bunch of insurtech stuff that's started in Stanford or MIT or some university, and there's zero experience in the actual field. And so I think that's really cool. I think that that's just something that I've always thought was really cool about what you guys were doing.
the product that we have out there right now, it still evolves. How many things we went through before, okay, this is what works. So Justin would send something, and me and Althea being more in the insurance world for longer, like using it and be like, it's almost there. If it could do this, that would be great. We don't like this. That is, to your point, really cool. Just like me and Althea were approaching it from the agent side, and Justin's approaching it from the developer side. When he's rolling something out, it's that's cool, but it would be cool if it could do this. This is more practical for an agent.
Just to echo what you said, Shane, I would agree. The perspective I took was going to insurance. When I thought it was boring, I thought this is going to be easy. I just thought, hey, these people just don't get it, like the insurance people. So that I got into it to solve these problems. I just want to build stuff, but that was the idea of it going into it. But I needed to learn it and I had to get licensed, and then got into it and was humbled pretty quickly. I just think it's impossible to solve some of these problems in insurance without actually being in the weeds of it. It's humbling when you do it because you're like, this is a grind.
Let's talk about AI. What is it and what is it not? There are so many misconceptions out there. So let's talk about what it is and why people are so scared of it and why they shouldn't be.
First AI thing I built was like in 2016. We had a logistics business. So I built it so you could talk to Alexa. So you talk to Alexa, it would keep up with your inventory. So you could ask, hey, Alexa, where's this item? And it would tell me where it's at in the warehouse. So the warehouse got bigger. It was dumb. And I was like, AI is a joke. It's stupid. But really, what the big advancement is with these LLMs. So what an LLM is just a large language model. They're supercomputers that can process large amounts of information extremely quick, just super fast. One of the cool things is a lot of what you're seeing now started at Google, and then Elon and all these guys went over to OpenAI. They're going to be like start an open environment, which it's not open. So it's called OpenAI, but it's not open. So they went off and did that, and then they started their models. That's when things started. And then there's company Anthropic, which they have a model named Claude. They branched off of that. That's how everything started and went. Big two things would be the human language. If you've seen code before, you'll see all these weird symbols and it looks like a bunch of jumbled stuff. But that's the way the computer understood it, because it'll have an interpreter of that code so the computer can understand it. Just like you would if you wanted to talk to somebody that spoke Spanish. You would need an interpreter. You need to know Spanish. The big thing is now that the code is the human language. The computer can understand the actual human language. The code is the human language, so that's why you can type stuff in as a prompt and it can execute and do things. The challenge for non-technical people would be, what do you tell it? And here's how it processes large amounts of information. It's all numerical. When people are like, oh, it knows what I'm thinking, it can guess. It's making a predictive guess of maybe what you're thinking or whatever, but they're not going to replace humans. Like they don't have emotion. They're pretty dumb. They can process large amounts of information quickly. They're only as good as what humans put in them. It's putting stuff together based on odds and reasoning. It's forming answers to process that information in a numerical way, if that makes sense.
Oh, complete sense.
That's not good.
Why is it important for small agencies to know about AI and to use AI?
Just because it's going to allow you to do so much more. It's going back in the day and saying, I don't need a website. I can just run it like I have a store. And you're like, that's true. And you could, but why would you not? The answer is yes to both. You can do a lot on your own without even going to an agency or buying stuff. You can do a lot just in the paid ChatGPT version, especially just getting really good at prompting. And prompting is just the message that you're sending the computer of the instructions of what to do. Just being very detailed. It just takes processes that take large amounts of like time. It just makes it easier to do. You don't have to spend as much time doing redundant tasks, and it allows you to save money. I think really the cost savings, you can save a lot. And it's not going to take away agents. It's going to complement a good agent. It's going to complement a good ISR. If you're bad at ISR, yeah, I'd worry. If you're a bad agent, you should get really good at this quickly. Once you use it every day, you really start seeing that. You just have to use it and understand how it works. When you get good at prompting, you do something and then you iterate on it. It's a lot of iteration. So you do have to be patient with it.
To the crowd, especially Xers like my generation, it's like Terminator. Everybody immediately goes. So I have to bring up that elephant in the room for a minute. You mentioned not going to replace humans, not going to replace people, just makes people more efficient. That's where everybody goes. Maybe from the context to Tonya's point, okay, if you look out over the AI horizon, And I don't even know if you can say 3 to 5 years. Maybe you have to say 1 to 2 years because it's so fast right now. But what do you see? What are you guys seeing over the AI horizon within the insurance industry? Where would you like to see it go over the next couple of years?
What we've talked a lot about is I think what you're going to see is a lot of small agencies able to compete with bigger agencies. As far as what we're doing with quoting, in theory, we can quote 1,000 people a day. Obviously, we can't call those 1,000 people back in a day, but we're not far away from one dude working out of his house and having 3 different computers that could just do everything. As far as predicting the future, I think people are going to be slow to change. People don't like stuff changing too fast. So I think there's going to be like small changes going. And so you maybe some people adapt to the process and then they come around. It's just like the internet and email. When email first comes out, so this is dumb. Or texting. I remember when texting happens. This is the dumbest thing of all time. But it's like, why are you calling me? Just text me.
It used to be like 50 cents a text.
Exactly.
My parents used to get so mad at me for texting. They're like, why are you?
Now I'm just like,
Don't send pictures through text.
why would you call when you can text me? I don't want to talk to you. But I think it's probably going to be a little bit of that with the AI. It's going to be gradual steps, but I think you are going to see the smaller agencies just able to compete. It just gives everybody a more even playing field.
Yeah. Even in the lab, we're like, how much can we do with one person? We think's the best agent in the world. Althea essentially runs the entire agency just so we can see, hey, how much can we do with this? And again, one thing so an example of how we implemented AI was reverse engineered an LLM to predict rates based on TDI data for anything in Texas. So we know what the rate's going to be essentially. And then we use actual policy data that we have. Like what we did on quoting, we were like, okay, we figured out our close rate at the time. I don't know if it's good or bad, but it was like 20 something percent. It was something around there. So we were like, okay, 80% of the time, we are just literally wasting time and doing busy work essentially. But we want to keep the prospects and we want to provide them with a quote and value and service. So we just essentially built something where it does all that for us, makes a really nice quote, sends it out, and saved us a crazy amount of time. We have got no pushback, no anything.
We're working with an agency right now trying to build them something where they can handle their notice of cancellations. I think you're probably going to see some small adoption like that. The thought process, okay, you get in there and you notice, oh my gosh, we had this person basically go into every carrier that we have, looking for a notice of cancellation, putting it into an Excel sheet, and now calling it. Well, that's basically somebody's job. And if we can take that off and be like, we can just automate all this. It's just a simple process. And then they see, oh man, this really works. Well, what can we do next? So I think it's going to be a lot of just really small stuff at first until they can see that it actually works. And then it's, oh man, this is crazy.
You got to commit to it for a little bit because you got to get how it works and improve on it, iterate on it. The models in and of themselves don't get smarter. How you communicate with it and how you store it, handle processes behind the scenes. It can learn and get smarter.
So is it safe to say then that we should maybe narrow it down a little bit? The insurance industry is too big, but like the independent agency channel, let's just be there, sales channel, because that's where you guys operate. That's where we operate. Is it safe to say that we should reset our brains a little bit, our mindset to go, okay, let's rethink what's possible here? When Tonya came on board, she came from outside the industry. One of the reasons that really resonated with me was new set of eyes looking at things from a marketing standpoint, from a branding standpoint. I think it's benefited us tremendously. There's things that I've just become so accustomed to that I just dismiss it. Okay, that's just the way it is. There's nothing you can do about that. Do you feel like AI changes that a little bit and says, hey, every problem we have, let's run it back through the filter and see if it's solvable now?
I think one of the mistakes agents make is that we're trying to understand how AI works instead of what can AI do for us. And so when you're talking about that, I think one thing that we've changed our approach a bit, we can get into the weeds of how this works, but it doesn't matter. You're not going to be in the weeds of it. You're just going to be doing your day-to-day stuff. Really just looking at, okay, so from our agency perspective, where's our pain points? Like, where's the bottleneck? Where's everything come to a stop? What's causing us? Just focus on those and don't even worry about, can AI fix this? Because it probably can, but you're going to limit yourself. And most agents can't even wrap their head around what AI can do, if that makes sense. Try to remove AI from it and be like, if there was just a perfect world and I could do this, and I could get rid of all of these things, what would that look like? I think that's a good way to approach it.
It puts non-developers on a level playing field. Before, for instance, a developer might have ideas of what you want done, but you can't do anything about it. But now, because the computer knows the human language, you can build stuff and be creative. So really what the future is going to look like with this is essentially as these tools get better and better, the creative people are probably going to move forward faster because people that think outside the box or think creatively, the hurdle of knowing how to code is no longer going to be in the way. It's going to be how creative can I be of like solving problems, who can solve problems the best and who can be the most creative. I think it'll be a lot of the winners that come out of this.
Yeah. I think just being honest with where you're at as an agency too. Like we're good. Most people live in that, hey, we're doing good, and we're here, but it's okay. But if you could take this off the table, where would your agency go?
If I said I was good at basketball, but I only play against my 6-year-old kid, I look really good. But if I'm standing next to LeBron, I'll get humbled pretty quickly. It's just who you're comparing yourself to as well.
Yeah.
I've had this thought for a few years now as the marketplace has been crazy in the insurance industry and the disruption, the hardening and the cycles it normally goes through. I've been watching agents start new insurance agencies, independent agencies over the last couple of years and thrive. Part of my argument has been, yes, the market is crazy and disruptive and et cetera. And a lot of the agents that have books of business that they're trying to keep, they're saying, oh, it's a terrible time to start an insurance agency. And then I'm looking at the new prospective agent looking at coming in the Integra Partner Network here. And it's a great time because you're starting over, you're starting new.
Oh, yeah.
The market's disruptive and those agents are thriving. The first thing I'm thinking about as I'm listening to you guys is for agents that start new agencies over the next few years, our business is partnering with those individuals to help them start those agencies. This is a great time to start an agency because you can get into AI to help you build processes and do things so much more efficiently. And you don't have things to break. If you've got a $5 million book of business, oh gosh, what's this going to do to my clients? What is this going to do to my processes? What's this going to do to my people? That's understandable. Like I'm sitting here thinking about our retail operation and I'm like, oh gosh, what are we going to do with AI? This is freaking me out. All of our people, 10 or 12 people in that organization, they're like, we got to move a little slower. We got to make sure we don't disrupt the world too much. But if I'm at zero and I'm starting tomorrow,
jump in. It's
like, why not embrace fully what it can do for you?
That person's not an advantage necessarily. I guess in a way it is, but just like I said, they're not tied to anything. If you start your agency tomorrow, just automate everything and sell the mess out of the stuff. And it's, for anybody who's been an agent, it's
play offense, not defense.
Yeah. It's like most of my time when I was an agent with the captive world, I would have to schedule chunks of my week. So Mondays, or basically every day from 8 to 11, I'm going to quote. That's all I can do. I can't email. I can't do anything. And then from 11 to 1, I'm going to respond to emails. You just have to be so intentional about your schedule. But it's like, you can just take all that off the table. And from day one, you're quoting all these people. It took most of us years to get to referrals and all that, but you can do it from day one, especially as a new agency. Just jump in and be like, let's go. The potential for that person is crazy.
I will say, if you are scheduling that way, it's fantastic at doing that for you.
Yeah.
And if you tell it all the things you need to do for the week and when your meetings are, it pops out exactly when you do what.
Yeah.
And it is so accurate the longer that you do it. Let's talk Strawberry Antler. If you are like most of the people that are listening to this conversation right now, AI is a little overwhelming and all of the things that you've been saying. So why would I use Strawberry Antler in my agency if all of this AI stuff is this difficult, this crazy, and this unknown?
It's overwhelming if you approach it and you start Googling or researching, how do I incorporate AI? Unless you have some type of developer background or you've worked with software before, it's going to be really overwhelming at the beginning. So having somebody, I guess the way I look at it, when I ask somebody, how does the internet work? Like when you go to a website, how does that work? You don't know what's happening. You just know if I go to Amazon.com, it takes me to this site and now I can do all these things. But you just use it because you've seen the use cases and you've seen it work. That's the reason, whether it's us or anybody else, it's like somebody that's in it and can get into the weeds of it. And you don't have to spend your time trying to figure out, how does this work? Look, I just wanted to do this. Can you fix this? And it's, you have somebody to do that for you.
And for us, like our biggest differentiator would be really two things. Our ability to, one, build custom stuff for people. Like they need something customized, something that's fit to them, or they just want to email us or call us like how to do something. What kind of prompt should I do? Or what should I say in this prompt? Or just help with that. They want to do it themselves. Yeah, it's free. That stuff's interesting to me. They can just email me directly. Our platform that we built, we really just came out with that recently. It's native AI throughout. So it gets better continually. You can build so fast now with these AI features. Essentially, it's just to put everything in one place. It can requote. It's an AMS, CRM. If you like Agency Zoom, you will love this because it does so much more and it's less expensive. It's got Canopy Connect built into it. We've got our own Canopy Connect essentially. So you don't have to pay for that. But it's just to get the cost down for agents. If you're using a bunch of tools, you don't have to. And there's a requoter in there. Even if you just use it for that, it's good. It's free to try.
As an agent, you just don't want to spend your time trying to figure out how this works. It just works. It's going to get better. It's going to make your life easier. Find somebody that you feel like you can work with and just go.
The cool thing about how we built a platform internally is that we're able to customize it to that agency on the platform. So we had someone the other day that was like, hey, I want to be able to change on the Kanban board for drag and drop. I want to be able to change what the titles are. Not every agency wanted that, but we're like, okay, changed it that same day. Things like that we're able to do that I think is a differentiator that these other companies that have legacy software is just not able to do.
What does Strawberry Antler do for the small, mid-size independent insurance agency?
So at its core, what we do is build AI tools, AI software for independent agents and agencies. We don't mess with the carriers. It's only to make the lives of insurance agents better and to make custom stuff for them. We have these tools and this platform. One's for an agent and one's for an agency, its own platform, its own service. It's basically trying to be an all-in-one. In that platform, it's got an API built into it, which it's your own API. So you can connect to anything, Zapier, anything you want to like instantly connect to anything. It doesn't matter what other platform you're on. That's the main things we do is customization. And then we have our own platform that we sell as our product. It does a lot of things in one.
Yeah.
Customer service, engagement, operational efficiency. What about marketing lead generation?
We use our quoter for that a lot. You could definitely build, I'll let Justin kind of touch on that, but we use our quoting process for that because you can embed it on your website. If somebody's coming to your site, traditionally somebody goes to a site and they say they want to quote, it's going to take you over to some type of Google form or something where you put in your information and somebody's going to contact you. Where ours is they put the information in and it literally sends them a quote in 2 or 3 minutes. We use that as a lead generator. There's probably other things we can do.
Like Google Ads, we do things, statistics, reconciling commissions. I know it's not the same thing, but like just anything with data can do pretty easily. Yeah, we've had the things around Google Ads we've done for people. We could pretty much do anything, or the technology could. Retail clients, sometimes they'll come to us and we're like, you don't need us. Don't pay us. You can just do this yourself. We'll lead you in the right direction too.
That brings up a really cool point in my discussions with you guys. That's one of the reasons I have you guys at our agent conference in a couple of weeks. We're going to get on stage and herd the cats in the same direction.
I think y'all may need me to help herd these cats.
I think it's going to be awesome and fun. And we're just going to do it, talk about authentic live stuff. And one thing that I've heard Justin say a couple of times over the last several conversations with him, and just, again, a lot of agents think, ooh, I need AI. I got to get involved in AI. And then you present the use case and you're like, dude, you don't need AI. Like, already there. Just do that. Yeah. And I think for me, that's one of the reasons I wanted you guys to come on, do a podcast, come to our agent conference at Integra. And is I wanted people to hear that there's a common sense mindset that needs to be applied here too. I think that's what's wrong with the insurtech world right now. There's a lot of stuff being developed that doesn't really help, or maybe it's already existing. People are selling stuff that agents don't need. Yep. And it's just like agents are overwhelmed. Why do I need that? It's AI. Okay, I'll pay you then because I don't want to get left behind. And that feels like a big part of where we're at with AI. Is that fair?
That's very fair. We get that a lot with people.
Yeah, I think a lot of our demos is just like people's minds are blown, but then they don't know what to do with it. It's, oh my gosh, this is crazy, but they just can't wrap their heads around. Which is fair. It is. It's crazy when we really start seeing what it can do. It just almost gets us like deer in the headlights look. But yeah, I think that's definitely a fair thing. And that's my point. I think trying to find somebody you can work with to take some small steps, even if it's just this notice of cancellation stuff. There's probably a lot of people doing the same thing that agency that I was talking about. They're still doing manually, which is fine. It works. But if you can eliminate just one small problem in your agency, just focus on that.
I feel like the whole AI concept needs Tonya's marketing statement of a confused mind does nothing. I think that's one of her things that she's taught me from a marketing and branding thing is
For sure.
Yeah,
agents are just paralyzed on thought because they don't know what to do. And that's a big part of this, deciphering direction. If I subscribe to your AI platform, do I get one thing? Do I get all the things? Or do you have packages? How does that work?
If there's just one agent, it's $150 a month and you get access to everything. For an agency, it's $400. We wanted to make it have price savings, and then we wanted to be able to do a lot of stuff. With AI, you're able to compete with larger agencies, and small agencies can do more. And so in the future, I think you're going to get agencies with very few people that can have crazy books. You can do that and get book packages. And we have other stuff like the custom models. And it's really the people want custom things, then it just depends on what they need. Like you can get as expensive as they want, just like building a custom home, or it can be as not very expensive.
Off the shelf.
Yeah. If you just want to do stuff. Yeah.
Like we have those.
Or you want to come test something out. Like we'll give you something to test out, but then you just tell us and we just iterate on it. So that's really the big thing.
Yeah. I think that is one of the cool things too. You buy the platform, so to speak. So you have an agency and you're paying $400. It does. And then at the same time, we can still get in there and personalize this.
It looks different to different people. When we're building this too, we think about everything. You're going to be in the platform a lot, probably if you do insurance. So we want you to be a good experience too, but it looks different to each person. We make it a blank canvas so you know what to add or what you want to do, and just get you thinking. And then if it doesn't get you thinking, just unsubscribe.
Back in a year.
Yeah, it just gets better. I feel like almost every week.
So guys, people want to know more about you. How do they find you?
strawberryantler.com. If they want to email us, chad@strawberryantler.com.
And I'm just JW@strawberryantler.com.
Yeah, would love to answer any questions. It really is. We're so small. Like it's just us. Like you're going to talk to me or Justin or Althea. If you have questions, you just want to get them here and ask, come ask questions. We love talking about it. It's fun. I think people are like, I don't want to bother y'all. And it's not really bother, dude. It's fun talking to people about it. Just email us or get on there. You can do a free trial. Check it out. And if you don't like it, cool. If you have questions about it, cool. We'll go from there. That's probably the easiest way.
And obviously y'all have nothing to do because you've created AI to do all the stuff for you. You're just sitting around waiting on
brushes my teeth for me. It's great.
It won't be long.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm going to let you leave us with your favorite quotes.
Attitudes of choice. I'm a big fan of the show. I've probably listened to the last episode I listened to was listening to what the Gen Z thought a salary should be. That was crazy, but attitude's a choice. Yeah.
I've always really liked don't eat yellow snow. Practical. Just don't do it, man.
Attitude's a choice. Make a great one.
Bye, y'all.
At the Integra Partner Network, we understand that carrier access is the key to your agency's success. That's why Integra offers direct access to top-rated personal and commercial carriers, ensuring your agency thrives in today's challenging market. And with our comprehensive resources, profit sharing and bonus opportunities, technology and peer support, all while you retain 100% of your book with no penalties to exit. Integra is ready to empower you and your agency to find sustained growth. Find your way to Integra. Visit IntegraPartnerNetwork.com today. That's IntegraPartnerNetwork.com.